Lewis, this is the first time we've spoken since you made your move to Newcastle permanent earlier this month, so just tell us about your initial reaction and feelings to that.
Yeah, no, I'm obviously very happy. Felt like a long period during the summer where I had to wait before it was officially announced. So on the day it was, I can't remember, I think it was the 1st of July. Yeah, I knew it was on that day coming up to it, so I was just waiting for the announcement, and yeah, as soon as that happened I was relieved, and yeah, I'm very, very happy to be here.
You say relieved, why the relief?
Yeah, I just think with how the season planned out last year, I think especially towards the back end of it, I was playing a lot of minutes and I was really, really enjoying it, and it's an amazing group of players and staff, and just the whole atmosphere around the club is amazing, and it's a club that's on the up.
Of course, it's well documented that you're from a family full of Newcastle fans as well. Yeah. I guess you'll have spent a bit of time with your family over the summer. What's their sort of reaction been like? What have their messages been like?
Yeah, no, I think especially my mum and dad, like, obviously so proud, especially with everything they've had to commit to allow me to be in the position I am now, which is obviously a dream for them as well as myself, playing for sort of a club that you've always supported throughout my life, and then I've been brought into a family which is obviously big Newcastle fans, going obviously past my dad onto my grandparents and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a massive honour.
You mentioned the back end of last season. Obviously you came into the team, played a lot of games, won the Player of the Month award for the club as well. What did that do for you in terms of, I guess, your own confidence as much as anything, but certainly your enjoyment of the season?
Yeah, definitely my confidence levels went up a bit, because obviously I think when I first signed I was reasonably confident. I hadn't had the best pre-season in terms of like getting games and minutes, so I was coming in a bit behind physically, which is sometimes normal because a club like Newcastle, I've realised, is a physical team, so you've got to be able to run, and you've got to be able to do it consistently and at high speeds as well. So it's a tough team physically to come into. So yeah, pre-season wasn't the easiest for me. I had to build up my fitness, and then as the season progressed, wasn't the start that I wanted. But as it progressed, I just kept my head down, kept working hard, kept working with all the coaches, and had all the support from them and the players as well. And then when my opportunity came towards the back end of the season, yeah, I managed to take it. I managed to get a good run in the team. So I'm hoping that I can continue that from the beginning this season.
I think confidence is obviously huge for any football player, but for you in particular, how vital is it for you?
Yeah, it's massive. I think there's always a bit of nerves, and it's difficult moving to a new club, no matter what age you are. But I think especially with it being so far away from home, it's not necessarily easy. If you've had a bad day, for example, at training, if you're coming back to an empty house, is sometimes not the easiest thing to have. But I had, like I said before, I had support with all my family, all the players and staff that helped me get through that and helped me develop as a person as well as a player. And yeah, then obviously when my opportunity came, I managed to take it, and from then on I just grew in confidence and allowed me to get the best out of myself.
And if last season wasn't ideal for you in terms of the pre-season, how important then does it make this pre-season for you to really hit the ground running?
Yeah, for sure. I've been working really hard over the summer on my own, and yeah, coming back in a good condition was vital for me, and I feel like I've done that, and yeah, can't wait for all the games to start.
The camp as well, we're talking about settling in and stuff like that. I mean, who have you been spending the most time with? What have you been learning about people, and what sort of things have been happening off the pitch as well?
Yeah, it's a great team morale. Everyone sort of gets on with everyone, but naturally you do sort of drift towards certain people. So obviously Tino, I've known him obviously from Chelsea for quite a while, and yeah, I've spent a lot of time with him, and Sean as well, Sean Longstaff. He's been very good to me and supported me throughout my last season. Yeah, and he's a great person to me, and I enjoy spending my time with him as well, and playing games with him and stuff like that.
How much do you think you've developed already as a player in your time at Newcastle?
I feel like how I am now as a player compared to how I was when I first joined, there's a massive change in sort of my maturity on the pitch, and I think that has related off the pitch as well. But I think especially my defensive side of my game has improved massively. Obviously I can still improve it a lot more, and that obviously comes with continued coaching, age and more experience of more games. So yeah, I'm looking to improve that as much as I can. And yeah, I think technical ability is one of my strongest attributes in football, so I think that's something that's naturally sort of been gifted to me. Of course I still work on it, but I think if I can continue to work on both the defensive side and continue to tighten up on little things technically as well, then yeah, that's my aim.
So with that in mind, how grateful are you to Eddie Howe, to the coaching staff for the work that they have done? It probably wasn't easy at times last season, but I guess it's sort of standing you in good stead now.
Yeah, I'm incredibly grateful. I think that's the most detail I've ever had from a coach. Obviously not just the gaffer, all of his backroom staff as well, on and off the pitch, who, whether it's on the pitch, coaching me, or off the pitch, analysing from training, it's really helped me come along a lot. And it's not just every so often, it's every day they're trying to get the best out of me and trying to improve me, and sometimes putting me in situations where I don't necessarily feel most comfortable because they want to improve me, which is something I'm incredibly grateful for. And although it is frustrating sometimes not being at the level I wanted to be at when I first came, but they stuck by me, and I'm so grateful for that.
This week we're in Germany, a couple of weeks' time off to Japan. You've never been before, I don't think. How much are you looking forward to sort of experiencing that?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously this week's been a great week. I've enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, Japan, been a place I've not been to before, so I'm very much looking forward to going there and continuing the training and the games as well.
And 2 home games as well coming up quite soon as part of the Cellar weekend.
Yeah.
Not played at St James's Park for a little while. Have you missed it, and how much are you sort of already looking forward to that?
Yeah, for sure. I think playing football is obviously an amazing feeling, but playing at home in front of the supporters who are so strongly into the club, there's no better feeling really, walking out at St James's with all the fans behind you, whether that is just a pre-season friendly game or a league game, or like we had the Champions League last year. I think it's always the same sort of feeling, and you sort of, obviously the result's incredibly important, but you just want to do them proud and show them that you're 100% committed and giving your all. And yeah, we've got a talented squad, so the rest usually comes with it.
And those 2 friendly games at St James's, they're against Champions League opposition as well, both teams competing in the Champions League. So is that quite a good sort of barometer for where you want to be getting to as a team? Yeah,
definitely. I think obviously the season before I joined, they showed how good of a mentality and how good of a squad they do have. And I think even though it wasn't the same league position in last season, I think we had some good spells and showed that we can definitely compete against the top teams in the league. And yeah, I think we can continue to do that, and hopefully this season we can manage to do that on a more consistent basis.
Does it feel then finally like a big season for the team, but also for yourself as well, especially you've probably just watched the Euros and maybe sensing that there's opportunities even at international level for you?
Yeah, I think obviously starting with the team is definitely an important season for us. We know we've all got the talent to be in the elite position that we want to be in, which is obviously near the top, as high as possible, and we've shown that we can get into them Champions League spots. Obviously before I was here that was, and we've added more great players to the squad, more experience to the squad as well, and that's only going to help us go one way, which hopefully we can do this season. And on a personal note, I think it is definitely a big season for me. Obviously I've had spells throughout the last 2 seasons where I've had regular minutes in teams and in the Premier League, and obviously some minutes in the Champions League, which is obviously the best club competition you can really be in. So yeah, I'm looking to get a full season under my belt and get as many games in as possible, and hopefully show my qualities with that and help the team so we can do as well as we know we can.